So, not to continue thinking about thinking, but I was, however, having some thoughts. And I remember yesterday in my thoughts about critical thinking, I brought up the fact that there are two questions that I feel like you can really channel and then just use the answers from those two questions to move forward, you know? Because you can really overthink things and it's really easy to do. So I feel like whittling it down to just these two questions makes things easier. So if somebody brings you an idea or a fact or whatever, you can ask why, you can ask how, and that's it. Even if, for example, you are folding clothes or whatever and you notice that your roommate folds their clothes a different way or doesn't really fold their clothes at all, your brain can come up with whatever assumptions it can come up with as to why your roommate doesn't really fold their clothes or folds them differently than you do. It could be something as simple as that's just how they were raised, to something as complicated as they read a book and watched some videos on the most efficient way to utilize space, and that's why they fold their clothes that way. Or why they don't fold their clothes at all is because they wear their clothes so quickly that they feel like there's no point in folding them. There's so many reasons. But instead of assuming, you could just look at your roommate real quick and be like, hey, why do you fold your clothes like that? And then be open to the response. You know what I'm saying? Like, their response could literally be like, girl, I don't know, I just fold my clothes. That's just how I fold my clothes. Like, they never even thought about it. You know what I mean? And like, that's cool. Or it could be one of those complicated answers. You know what I mean? But you never know until you ask. And then how, I feel like, is another really good question. You know what I mean? Because like, why am I doing this? How am I supposed to do it? Once you ask those two questions, it's like you can have a clearer picture of which way to go. You know, if somebody asks you to do something, an authority figure, anybody, you know what I mean, a friend, you know what I mean, asks you to do something, maybe ask yourself, why am I about to do this? How am I going to do this? Is this good for me? Is it okay? Is this going to bother me at all? It could be something real simple, you know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Hey, can you grab the remote for me? Okay, that's probably not a moment to stop and be like, why should I grab the remote? How should I grab the remote? Like, that's too much, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about deeper things, bigger things that people bring to you that's like, maybe you should stop, have some critical thinking, and in that, instead of being like, okay, how do I think critically about this? Just be like, why am I doing this? How am I doing it? That's it, you know what I mean? And if you don't know, ask that other person. Ask those other people, hey, why are we doing this? Do we know why we're doing this? Okay, cool. And if you're okay with that, okay, how are we going about this? How are we going to do it exactly? What are the details? And then go from there. But I feel like those two questions can really help you think critically, just kind of real quick, and then make your decision, but be careful of the consequences and go on about your life. So, just throwing that little tidbit out there. Why and how, those are two questions I ask almost all the time. I feel like it really helps me a lot. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm learning something. Just thought I would share that. Okay, have fun asking the whys and hows. Okay, bye.